A profound and often overlooked shift is reshaping the landscape of gender in modern societies. While the fight for women's equality rightly remains a central focus, a parallel and urgent crisis has emerged: boys and men are falling behind in fundamental areas of life. This book presents a clear-eyed, data-driven exploration of this decline, arguing that ignoring the struggles of males poses a serious threat to societal health. The author contends that supporting boys and men is not a zero-sum game that detracts from feminism, but a necessary step to build a world where everyone can thrive. The educational reversal is one of the most startling developments. In just a few decades, the historical gender gap in education has not only closed but inverted. Girls now consistently outperform boys in reading by nearly a grade level, and have achieved parity in math. At the highest levels of academic achievement, females make up 2/3 of the top students, while males constitute 2/3 of those at the very bottom. This disparity cascades into higher education, where women now earn the majority of college degrees, a gap that has grown wider than it was before Title IX legislation. A key part of this puzzle lies in developmental biology. Neuroscience shows that the prefrontal cortex, responsible for executive functions like planning and impulse control, matures about 1 to 2 years earlier in girls than in boys. This means the standard school system, which rewards sitting still, organizing homework, and planning for the future, is structurally better aligned with the average developmental timeline of girls. The old system masked this bias by limiting opportunities for girls. Now, with those barriers removed, the disadvantage facing many boys has been laid bare. Addressing this educational gap requires creative, tailored policies. One provocative proposal is redshirting boys, having them start formal schooling a year later than girls, aligning their school entry with a more developmentally ready stage. Furthermore, the teaching profession has become overwhelmingly female, with only 24% of K-12 teachers being male. Increasing male representation could provide crucial role models and help shape classroom environments that engage boys more effectively. Finally, the education system must elevate and respect vocational training and apprenticeships. The relentless push for a 4-year college degree fails many young men who thrive in hands-on, practical learning environments. Creating multiple, respected pathways to economic success is essential, particularly for working-class boys who feel alienated by the current academic-centric model. The economic fortunes of men, especially those without college degrees, have stagnated or declined. Most men today earn less than their counterparts did in 1979, and prime-age male labor force participation has dropped significantly. The economy has shifted away from traditionally male-dominated manufacturing jobs, while growth sectors like healthcare and education have seen a steep decline in male participation. This has created a new professional segregation. While society rightly encourages women to enter STEM fields, there is little parallel effort to recruit men into HEAL jobs, health, education, administration, and literacy. These sectors are projected to generate far more jobs than STEM in the coming decade, yet they are becoming female-dominated professions. The startling statistic that only 5% of clinical psychologists under 30 are male hints at a future where vital caring professions lack gender diversity, to the detriment of everyone. Perhaps the most profound crisis exists within the family, where a society-wide dad deficit is taking a heavy toll. 1 in 4 American fathers does not live with his children, and 1/3 of children see their father only rarely after a parental separation. Concurrently, women's economic empowerment has reshaped family dynamics, with mothers now serving as the primary breadwinner in a huge number of households. This liberation is a positive social achievement, but it has left the role of many fathers uncertain. The old model of father as sole provider is obsolete, but a new, engaged model of fatherhood as a nurturing co-parent has not been fully embraced culturally or supported institutionally. This deficit disproportionately harms boys, who often lack a present male role model, potentially perpetuating cycles of disengagement. These interconnected crises, educational, economic, and familial, contribute to a deeper malaise manifesting in a tragic wave of deaths of despair. Men account for nearly 3 out of 4 overdose deaths, and an overwhelming majority of suicides. This points to a crisis of meaning and identity. For many men, traditional sources of purpose, being a good provider, a respected worker, a present father, have eroded, leaving a void that is often filled with pain and alienation. Solving these problems requires moving beyond blame and recognizing a fundamental truth: we have successfully liberated women from rigid, confining roles, but we have not yet completed the work of liberating men from their own set of outdated expectations. The path forward is to construct new, positive identities for men as engaged fathers, caring professionals, and successful partners in a truly equal society. The well-being of boys and men is not a separate issue, but a foundational piece of our collective future.